You're good. No, so I didn't talk about any of them. You could just say, you can...
Can you cut that there, or do I need to redo that?
No, I'll find this.
Did I pause long enough? I tried to do a little pause.
Hi, I'm Ben Flanagan, co-founder of Vague Entertainment. Today with me is Chris Shenkir, the host of the Society of Part-Time Adventurers. Hello, Chris.
Hey, man.
We are here to ask you some questions that have been given to us by our would-be viewers. First off, why the Society of Part-Time Adventurers? Where did you get the setting?
Well, the Society of Part-Time Adventurers just kind of came to me overnight, or a few minutes, really, actually. I got a text message and I had to come up with a name for the thing, and all the people that are participating in this have full-time jobs, so they're part-time adventurers when they come and play with us. Makes sense, right? This setting is a modern setting. We wanted to keep it local, so it takes place in Dallas, Texas, and our adventurers might branch out to other surrounding areas, say Wise County, good old Decatur, Texas, maybe. And we want to do a modern setting because it's different. It's not done a lot, and I think it's really taken off. I know talked to several people that like the idea and are actually doing modern settings of their own now. So it works.
So for those who are unfamiliar with tabletop role-playing games and Pathfinder in general, could you give us a little information on how the game is played, where it started, where it came from, how you got involved in it?
Well, Ben, I started playing tabletop RPGs or tabletop role-playing games when my friend Josh invited me to a weekly or monthly game night that we were calling Wise Gamers. The first night we played Lord of the Rings Risk, and then the second time we played, he wanted to introduce us to PathFinder, which is the system we are using, rule system, and I've been hooked on it ever since. So that's what got me started. Pathfinder is a rule system based on Dungeons & Dragons Edition 3.5, and it has kind of evolved into its own thing and taken off. Some people call it Dungeon Edition 3.75, but Paizo, the publisher of the Pathfinder material, has definitely made it its own thing. So it's not just a Dungeons & Dragons spin-off. I mean, it's definitely established itself in the world of tabletop role-playing games, and it stands alone.
Pathfinder rules have to be changed for video broadcasting to keep the flow going in video editing and keep people interested. Could you explain some of the changes you have made for the society?
Well, one of the things, Ben, that we've changed is the initiative order, or the way we roll for initiative during combat encounters. Normally, initiative is rolled at the beginning of a combat encounter. Everybody rolls their d20 and adds their initiative modifier, and then the GM or game master records the rolls and determines from there what order the players can act in. Normally it's up to the GM to keep track of all that, and so what you end up doing is going down the list, and it's like, now it's your turn, now it's your turn. What we use instead of the standard Pathfinder initiative rolls is something called popcorn initiative, which is a method that I learned from the Angry Game Master, the Angry GM. You can look him up online. He's awesome. Check him out. But we use his method, popcorn initiative, and everybody does roll for initiative at the beginning of the encounter. However, there's only one high roller, and that person, or whether it be a player or one of the NPCs or monsters, is the first one in the initiative order. And then from there, it's a matter of nominating the next person to go next. So if one of the player characters or PCs was first, then they do their action during the combat, and then they would nominate the next person. It can be one of their party members. One of the things that Popcorn Initiative really helps with is it takes some pressure off the GM as far as keeping track of who goes next, and it takes some bookkeeping responsibilities off of the GM, and it puts the gameplay in the hands of the players. I highly encourage role playing during Popcorn Initiative. So if the fighter goes first and hits a monster, and then he's gonna maybe take a move action to get out of the way, and then nominate the wizard to throw a fireball or something. You can say like I just hit that monster, now you finish him with a fireball, and that would be like him nominating the wizard to go next, and then the wizard would go, and so on. And then they do need to worry about when they nominate the monsters, because whoever ends the round in Popcorn Initiative also starts the next round. So if they wait for the monsters to go last, then that's kind of like they get a double turn. They'd end the round and then they'd start the next round, and that would be bad news for the PCs. Some other things that we've changed for the sake of the show. It is a modern setting, so our characters have cell phones, which have been used quite effectively by some of our players. I like that one of our players uses that in her local knowledge checks. It really makes a lot of sense that she can just text one of her contacts. And as a GM, I actually think that takes a lot of pressure off me to come up with like how she knows that. It's like, okay, you contact your underground buddy, and he tells you that he knows this about this, NPC or whatever. I love it. Works great. We've also incorporated magic tattoos, which are a way for our characters to carry their weapons in secret. Since it is a modern setting, again, people will probably give them funny looks if they walk around carrying broadswords and tower shields and things like that. So the weapons are tattooed, and they become kind of a part of the character, and then they just have to touch that to draw their weapon. So that's a few of the changes we've made, and I'm sure we'll keep on shaking things up from here.
So Chris, what is you can't be playing role-playing games all day long. What do you do for a living? Where can we find out more about Chris Shenkir?
Well, if you want to find out more about Chris Shenkir, you can visit the Decatur Public Library in Decatur, Texas. That's where I work. I've worked there for 9 years now. If you want to find out more about me and how to play PathFinder or role-playing games in general, we do have a monthly role-playing game program every second Saturday of the month at the Decatur Public Library. Visit our website for more about that. I'd love to see you there. You can come play with us.
If a person can't make it to Decatur, Texas for your monthly Pathfinder game, where can they learn more about tabletop gaming or become involved in groups like yours?
Well, if you're not in Decatur or can't come visit us at the library, check out your local comic book and game store. They usually have tons of resources, and most comic book and game stores have game nights where they'll have people gather to play all sorts of tabletop games, ranging from RPGs to collectible card games like Magic the Gathering and other various tabletop games. So if you have a local game store, comic book store, check them out. I'm sure they'd appreciate your business.
In all seriousness, it was once said that D&D was a pathway to the occult and all things of the devil. Mr. Shenkir, are you a part of a cult?
Cult? Why would you think that?
Thank you again for watching. If you want to find out more information about the show, the network, or any of the things that Chris talked about, they are in the links below. Again, we have a Patreon page, Vague Entertainment, patreon.com. $1 a month will get you access to behind-the-scenes footage, as well as extended interviews and whatnot, and it's all the outtakes that we take out. Thanks again, and goodbye.
No, y'all, in all seriousness, I'm not really in a cult. No, we don't do that here. We just play games. It's cool. See, this is just for fun. See, it's just for fun.
It's just a thing.